Hey folks, it's Brian. We got to play RQG last night. It was a short session. It was an interesting session. It certainly did not go the way I was. Planning is not the right word. I had envisioned an encounter in town and other people involved and things happening. But anyway, so we start off the session with some admin stuff still going on, so that's not recorded in the live play. By the way, live play is in the description. And once the guys were pretty much done, just talking and stuff, making sure everything was divvied out, and we talked a little bit about, hey, you are acquiring income out of season's not the right word, out of the normal realm of income, right? At the end of the year, we roll how much money did you make, and you pay your tithe to the temple on that, right? But here you are. Increasing in cash, in money, value, stuff outside of that circle, still need to pay your tithe to the temple on that stuff, right? So they kind of decided that they would evaluate everything they have and then pay that much to the temples, kind of hand waving it, and then they divvy up what's left, which is fine. I kind of envisioned it. We divvy up everything, and then whatever I got, I tithe to my temple. But mechanically, is it a way to not cheat the players out of their winnings? But my intent was, hey, we have a responsibility still. We're part of a society. We owe money to the temple. We got this extra cash. We need to pay our tithing. So. It's just a little quick sidebar there. Some more discussion. Okay, now who really has what? Ingrillar's player has been recording all the stuff, and so he's keeping track of that way. Okay, so you've got this, you've got that. I gave you this because I got this. That kind of stuff, right? And there's some discussion with Jar Stakos, the new player. And a little sidebar piece. Okay, what if we run into dark trolls? We should have figured out how much would have been their cut because they helped a lot. And so one of the players has got, okay, this is how much we made total kind of thing, and we can figure this out if we need to. Okay, so once all that stuff is done, I start rolling the recording, and first thing I ask the players is, okay, I don't know what your typical God day is like. What would you do on the last day of the week? Just normally, right? For Rustra, it's easy. She's a guard of the temple. That's what she's doing. For Daven, it's fairly simple as well. He'd be doing some research at the Lankermai Shrine. There is a library there, right? A small library. In fact, in one of the scenarios for Chaosium that we do at conventions, there's actual library research going on for part of that scenario. So there's that kind of thing going on, and then he's going to be doing personal study because he's got those scrolls, right? And he's a philosopher, so he's got doing philosopher stuff, right? People come and see him asking questions, or he's meeting with other people and that kind of thing. And he kind of visions at the end of the day, he and a handful of the other Lankermai scribes and philosophers stuff just kind of get together and drink tea and stuff, right? Discuss things. Erstakos envisioned himself hanging out at the temple, just seeing if there's something that somebody needs a rise or VIP needs taken around, that kind of stuff, right? Ingrillar envisioned himself down by the river fishing, and Subutai envisioned himself out in the woods, not necessarily hunting, but seeding the land, feeding animals, that kind of thing, right? Doing down child kind of stuff. Everybody's kind of visioning this like as a Sunday, what we do on the Lord's Day kind of thing, right? So they've got all this stuff, and they're all spread out, all doing different things. And I start have them making luck rolls. Now, Jastekos failed his outright. He rolled a 9-9, which wasn't a fumble, which we thought first may have been, or maybe it was. Yeah, it was a fumble by 1%. So, but he wasn't involved with the Dark Trolls. The Dark Trolls don't know him. So, Subutai had a regular failure. Everybody else made theirs. In fact, David had a special. Okay, so what is Subutai doing? He's out in the woods. Okay, make a scan and listen roll. He made both of those. So he's hearing something. He looks and he sees two large figures moving towards him. Make another scan roll. They're coming closer. He recognizes the Dark Trolls. In fact, he recognizes an in times 5 thing. Yeah, this is Alien Dower. And so he starts calling out to them, and they cast some rune magic that gives them animalistic features. The visage changes like to a wolf or a fox or a cat or something, right? And then they sprout these huge claws and they attack. So he attempts to dodge and parry with his pike and stuff, and he missed, and one of them got a decent hit on his leg. Didn't mangle or amputate it, but eviscerated it. And then the second one took out his chest. Now, we did, divine intervention. He's going to make he rolled a 20 something, so that didn't happen. So Subtai's dead. I have the rest of the players start rolling luck rolls. And Angrilar missed to this one, and David actually got a critical. So I kind of wrote David out of this thing. So Angrilar's down by the river, makes scan, listen, roll, makes both of those. He hears something movement down the riverbank behind him, and he turns and looks, and there's these two large figures, humanoid figures moving towards him. Makes another scan roll, recognizes them as Dark Trolls. But one of them, again, he sees this rune magic, the visage of an animal, and it starts sniffing around, and then they charge. So he casts Befuddle on. He recognized. Did he recognize him then? I think he may have recognized. Not yet, because it was still Troll 1 and Troll 2. So one of the trolls is casting magic on him because he had gotten up and moved back. He was moving away. And one of them was casting slow, and was actually successful. We realized, okay, so one was casting magic. I'm casting magic back. I'm going to cast it on the other one because the other one's coming forward, right? So it's got a little more distance, is closer to the other round. So he does Befuddle on troll number 1. Troll number. The slow is effective, so he's not moving very far. Troll number 2 catches up onto him. He tries to do a Befuddle on that one, is not successful, and then melee, right? So Angrilar pulls out his sword, or grabs up his sword and shield kind of stuff. I kind of mentioned, you're out in the wilderness, it's going to be dangerous. You're going to have your weapons with you. She'll step on his back while he's fishing. Okay, I have no problem with that. All of this, by the way, is theater of the mind stuff because I don't want to pull out pawns for this kind of thing. It should be pretty quick and easy kind of stuff. Don't need to worry too much about that sort of thing. Not a lot of tactics involved, right? So, second troll up on him. Swipe, parry. Does some damage to the troll's first hand. And this is something, I forgot where I found it, but there was something where natural weapon parries, right? They stop hit points worth of their hit points. So you're boxing, right? He swings, you parry with your arm. got a 4-point arm, so you stop 4 points of damage, and anything over the 4 then gets through, right? Like a normal shield. Well, it's not 12, it's 4. But these guys are armored up too, so you got armor plus the arm, and so it was like 8 points he was blocking, and he did more than that. So then I started thinking, well, does the armor then absorb the damage coming through? That's kind of double dipping. But oh wait, did I? Yeah. Okay, no, it doesn't. So stopped 8. So much got through, so the arm goes to -1. But it's still got the other claw, and it's still attacking. And again, with the attacks and parries and stuff, the other arm gets damaged significantly. And what did she here, Andy? Because I can't remember exactly how he took him out, but he did. He ended up taking him out. Oh, we got him in the leg. That's right. Ingrillar got a good solid hit on its leg. And that was enough to take it down. So it's a negative hit points. I didn't bother worrying about. Because I put I got a buffer zone. So at 0, you're unconscious, right? And you got from 0 to negative your healing rate is you're still unconscious. It's like a coma kind of thing, right? So eventually you can heal from that. But below that, end of the round, you die. And so that troll's down. So he goes to the other troll who's befuddled, right? He's just kind of, or she rather, just kind of stand around, all confused and whatever. And he gets behind her. And I was using the RQ3 attack modifiers chart kind of thing. And so we end up with a plus 65 from attacking behind, surprise kind of thing, right? And rolled a 99. So he missed. The the troll must have done something. Hey, what are you doing back there? Threw off his aim. Skidded off the back of the breastplate. I don't know, something, right? So the befuddled is dispelled, and she attacks him. And throughout this attack with her, he had cast the blade sharp on the sword. In fact, when he was doing the rear attack, he had done. This is the sword's got the 2 rune points of True Sword in it, so he had True Sword on, and he missed. And from that, I think she got. Maybe she didn't get. No, she got a crit. She got. No, it wasn't a crit, but she got a hit on the head. That's what it was. She hit. He missed his parry. Hit him in the head. Did 4d6 worth of damage. Put his head negative. He's unconscious. She tears him apart. The next person, well, there's only really 2 people left, and one of them did a critical on his luck roll. So Arestra. What's Arestra doing? She's at the temple doing her guard duty stuff. Well, she's going to have to take time out to eat and that kind of thing, right? So, but there's going to be, chow house not the right word. There's going to be like a barracks room with a meal area. And so she'll be there eating, and yeah, there'll be other Babis de Gore there. I mean, this is a major Earth temple, right? So the Dark Troll, 46 damage to that door, busts it open. And I have a restaurant make a luck roll, see how many of her sisters are with her, and she got special, I think it was. It's okay. 2d6 worth. There were 7 of them total. I made the total 7. So her plus 6. That's going to make mincemeat of this troll. But there's going to be some kind of fighting involved. So Arestra make a parry, and the beast will make an attack. And does it do any damage? And I actually don't remember if it actually did any damage. I don't think it was enough to get through because she's got that large shield kind of thing. So Arestra make mincemeat of the creature. And oh, I forgot. When I had her make Constitution saving throw, excuse me, for disease, because the trolls are carrying disease with them. And then I made some quick rolls for the sisters. A couple of them were kind of high. Did some random, Constitution rolls. Okay, one of them picked up the wasting disease from this troll. So okay, they know something going on. Go get the Lancromide priestess, or there might even be a Earth priestess here who's. Does cure disease come with from Shank? I don't know. I'll have to look. But eventually, you're going to get somebody to take care, and it's mild anyway, or so it's like once a week you're going to lose a point, so nothing significant. But they take the body out and they burn it. Next day, Rustra goes up to the palace area to report to Queen Leika what they had found. Probably would have a couple of sisters with her. Now that I think about it, if they didn't run somebody up in the that night just to let somebody know something was up, and then it'd be more in the morning kind of thing, because it was just the one troll, right? So she does an interaction up there, have her make a couple of luck rolls to see if certain information she discussed that is also known up there makes a connection, and some more comes out, but she missed that one, so that didn't happen. And then she goes looking for folks. So she goes down to the temple where Jarkosis. What's his name again? Jarstakos. There we go. Jarstakos is, and Lars might be there too, right? So she goes looking for him, finds Jarstakos. Davin's not there. He was there earlier, but then went to his apartments, whatever, to do some personal research. And so they start heading down to the lower city. Whose place we hit first? Angrilars or Davin's? We're going to hit Davin's first. So they hit Davin's, and there's some discussion going on what exactly did you see? What happened? That's kind of odd. What's going on? And hey, wasn't that something similar with some other folks? Earlier with spider stuff, and it was similar, but not exactly the same, because these spider folks, people they knew had changed into spiders. Physically changed. They had spider heads, they had extra spider legs, kind of stuff. Whereas what she saw was a vision of an animal kind of thing. Excuse me. And so they start making some catches. There's something still going on here, all being tied together, which it is. And well, let's go find everybody else. So as they're heading towards Angrilar's place, there's a funeral procession kind of thing coming up. They're bringing up Angrilar's body because he didn't show up yesterday, so they went looking for him and they found it. And so they're bringing it up this morning and dragging that dark troll behind him. And by the way, a couple of them probably picked up a disease from that. And so some people are getting a little sick, and Rush talks about, hey, it might be disease. And so they talk with a couple of people there, and where was the body found, that kind of stuff. Most of the people are, we got take Angrilar, deal with the death and the funerary stuff, right? While some other drag that dark troll out there and burn it, and then there's a lynch mob gets together, starts looking for dark trolls out in town, not in town, but in the area. And they take off. So they start talking about, well, where's Subutai? Well, Subutai lives in the village. So they go over to the village, and there's something odd going on here. Start asking around. Yeah, Subutai's missing. He's out for. He often goes out for days at a time, kind of thing. But today is the first day of dark season, and the freeze day of disorder week of dark season is a Yinkin High Holy Day. And so they had figured he'd come back, and the Yinkin guys he would give the Yinkin guys, to do, associated cult worship stuff, right? But he didn't, so they went looking for him, and they haven't found him. Now they're getting worried. So where'd they go? We went up this woods area over here. So they start going. As they're traveling out, David's makes an intelligence roll. And that's where Inglar's body's found. And this is where the woods are. And there's the city, the Earth Temple. This is kind of along the same trajectory sort of thing. So he kind of figured, okay, we should be looking there. So at this point, somebody thought, well, what are we doing with Jarstakos? Oh, yeah, we go to Jarstakos. He's got the chariot. We can go real fast. So they go out there and they find the party. Hey, we need to be looking in this area because we believe they're doing this kind of thing. And sure enough, they find the body. They're looking around for tracks and stuff. And while Subutai went down in 2 quick hits, so there's not like a lot of stuff here, but obviously there's his body, legs been eviscerated, his pike's laying down, and there's no other blood or signs of struggle or anything there. So they bring Subutai's body back. Also have Subutai make a couple of previous constitution rolls for disease, and he did in fact catch brain fever. So there's a chance somebody here catching brain fever, somebody gets a little sick, that kind of thing happens. So they send for the Shalanaroy priestesses again. Somebody come and take care of this disease stuff. So at this point, they go back up to the palace area with, okay, this is our side of the story. We know these dark trolls. They've been with us, but they're acting completely out of character because they were friends of ours, and now they're attacking us. Oh, and it seems that they're carrying some disease spirits, at least a disease, right? And at that point, it comes out that there is rumor about a plague up at Runegate. These guys, the trolls, they assume had been to Runegate because that's where they were headed. And so they start, okay, we need to go to Runegate next. But we've got 2 dead characters. So there's some character rolling discussions going on. I wasn't sure how much was going to happen because Subutai's player obviously doesn't like to throw around a list of people to do stuff. But depending on what happens, there could be an opportunity where he could play this dark troll for me. Or something. If we go through this quickly and get actually to Runegate, there's stuff there where he could play for me, be my associate GM and take care of stuff for me, that kind of thing. So he stayed on for most of the time. And then we start talking about character creation. I'm expanding a character creation. When we first started the game, we're all new to RQG, and so I wanted close hold kind of stuff. Okay, we're all Earl Aldori's, the Kalimar clan, Sartari, right? So we can keep some control and we understand it. So as people have died, I've expanded that some. Okay, so if you want to be of a different culture, okay, and that's where Stakos came from. He's this Rolian. But then we've got to remember, okay, we need to tie your character into these new people. Now, thankfully, Jarstakos was at a number of battles that most of the other players were at too, so we can make that association. So he's decided, hey, I need to get out of Ezreal, get up into Dragon Pass, see some action, see what's going on. And he's got some cousins up there, right? So he goes and he's visiting and he meets up with the players and that kind of thing. So we got to do that with 2 more people if they're not local, right? And so we're talking with Subutai, but Subutai's player, because he had this envision for a Mongol warrior, and you can't do that really, Ernaldori, Kalimar, right? So I'm looking through, and Found Child was the closest thing to a hunter kind of thing that he wanted to be, that would fit, even though Found Child technically doesn't really fit in Dragon Pass. They're more of a Praxian kind of thing. So, and it got kind of stuffy for him because he had difficulty because he had to do all of his worship with associated cults. Now, it's not impossible because Odela and Yinkin are both associated with Orlan, so they're going to be, their shrines around, and he can do associated cult worship with these guys, and he can get his rune points back and do his ceremonies and things. So it worked out. It's not the same as go to an Orlantha temple on a holy day for Orlantha and getting all your rune points back, right? And so some discussion about that. If you really want to do this Mongolian kind of character, you'd be a Grazelander worshiping Yelm. That would be it, right? That's the best simulation we can do in Glorantha with what we currently have. Because he likes being a distance fighter, although we found, and there's some discussion about this in Live Play too, about let's stay out of underground. Let's stay above ground. But there's lots of things that are underground. I mean, that's where chaos is dwelling. I mean, if we went to Snakepipe Hollow, where would we go? We'd go into caves, right? So that cavern crawl kind of feel is going to be in a lot of places, not necessarily everywhere. And firing into melee is not a good thing, which they found. So, and as previous characters, I was playing, I don't say old school, but that's what it was, right? Make your rolls. What hand were you dealt? For the second character, actually made a stat array. I used the 5e thing as a guide. Now it's not specific numbers to stats; it's specific numbers to dice. So everybody gets 3 6s and 3 2s, 4 5s and 4 3s, and then 5 4s. That's the 19 dice that a normal character has for their dice pool for their stats. And of course, size and intelligence are 2 dice plus a 6, right? So I give them that. That helps them not have certain stats being, too weak unless that's what they intend. So it gives them more control to the players that way. So I pushed that out, and since we are now 2 years past the beginning point of the Blue Book character creation stage, I let them go through 10 seasons of end of season phase. So they get so many get 5 stat increase rolls, research, and then they get the 4 cult or occupation skill rolls every season, so they can divvy all that stuff out. There's like 4 power gain rolls, 2 for High Holy Days, 2 for what's it called? I'm drawing a blank again. The end of the year, the 2 weeks in the year, right? So there's some stuff going on that will help them make a difference from all the stuff they've missed, right? So Angrelar's player is looking at doing Dr. Fall Assistant Shaman. And we kind of talk about this a bit too. Yeah, Glorantha is full of spirits. It's full of spirits. I can simulate pretty much anything from the various modular stuff I steal stuff from using spirits. And so that's what he's thinking, because that is a definite weakness the party has noticed. We can't deal with spirits. So should I look at doing assistant shaman, or should I look at being a priest for occupation? And obviously, spirit stuff and assistant shaman would be of more value than a priest. Although obviously a priest would be helpful too. But they've been able to survive the healing kind of stuff that a priest would bring. With them. Although there are other things. For example, Norland Thunderous Priest has a different sort of set of spells that we get access to. Although they're not priest as in rune priest. They're like an associate priest kind of thing, and not an initiate. So it would be initiates, but the priest occupation. And we're not sure what Subutai's player is thinking or planning. We did leave him with the whole Grazelander Yelmian kind of deal. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, it was a short session. Because I had envisioned them being in town when the trolls attack. So there's lots of things going on, and they can survive. I did not plan on half the party dying. That's for sure. But combat and Runequest, especially when you're alone, holy cow! Why would and I'll discuss with my players there on. Realistically, guys, what kind of encounters have you had out in the wilderness? Random encounters that you guys have run into. There was the grizzly bear the other session, if nothing else. You're going out in the wilderness alone? Bring some folks with you. And we could have even, maybe I should have, brought that up then, and then we could have retconned a piece, and so maybe they wouldn't have died necessarily. Food for thought. Happy gaming.